feel like you're the one that's like, oh, well, I get off work at this time and then I'm free for these hours and then I can do this and do that. If you are the one that's always trying to make sacrifices or adjustments or change anything to see him and he's not doing anything to see you, he probably does not like you. Because if you like that man and you don't want to waste your time, but you're like, I don't know if he really likes me, here are 6 simple ways to know if a man really doesn't like you like that. The first one, his actions does not match his words. Guys that just say anything and don't really mean it means that they don't really like you because they don't see any expectation of doing that thing in the future. For example, a guy would be like, oh, you saw the Heat play in Miami? Yeah, I really want to go to a Heat game. Da, 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 da. I really like going to Miami. I like Miami. You want to go to Miami? We should go to Miami one time. All this other stuff. If he know he don't got the money to bring you, he know he don't got the funds, or he's just not in the right, capability to do that for you, he wouldn't even bring that up. The same thing when guys do when they tell you that they bought you something, even though they didn't buy you nothing, or they be like, oh, dang, if you never did this, I was going to give you this, or I was going to give you that. All they do is lie to you and give you the runaround, because if a guy really liked you, he wouldn't even bring that thing up. If he know he can't afford something, if he know he can't do something for you, he's not even going to put it in your brain, because when he doesn't do it, he knows that you're going to feel like, dang, well, you said you was going to do that, or you said you was going to do this, and he don't want you feeling like he's not who he say he is. So, ladies, if he constantly is saying that he's going to do stuff that he doesn't do, if his actions do not match his words, I'm telling you, he really doesn't like you. He probably just texts you and hang out with you because he's bored, but he really doesn't see anything in the future with you. That's why he just sells you dreams. Number 2, he doesn't remember anything that you specifically tell him. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he has to remember every single detail, but at the same time, if he's not remembering specifics, maybe you told him your favorite color, you told him what kind of car you may want in the future, you told him your birthday, you told him a few things, and it feels like he never remembers those things. If you have to tell him that it is your birthday tomorrow, he probably does not like you. That means when he's around you, he's basically tuning you out. Or when you're saying things, he's really not taking them into consideration. Because if a guy really likes you, he's going to pay attention to those things, because he's going to use those things as a sense of saying, I'm going to do this next week because it's her birthday. I'm going to give her this because she said it's her favorite color. I'm going to do whatever the case may be, because it's going to show her that I care about her. And so if a guy really isn't paying attention, in his mind, he's not even putting 2 and 2 together that, oh, she might want this or she might like that, because he really doesn't care. And I think sometimes too, ladies like try to have this idea like, oh, well, men don't pay attention as much and men aren't as considerate as us. No, that man really don't like you. And a lot of women have dealt with men that really just don't be liking them, but they think men are nonchalant or men don't care or men aren't as caring as women. No, if he likes you, he's actually going to care. Number 3, he does not make an effort to see you, or only tries to see you when it's convenient for him. So y'all be texting all day like y'all in 6th grade and he never talks about coming to see you. Or when he does want to see you, it's at a certain time period, usually at nighttime, which we all know what that means. And it just feels like it has to be convenient for him. It's not like he's going to try to go out his way or he's going to try to do anything to see you. If you feel like you're the one that's like, oh, well, I get off work at this time and then I'm free for these hours and then I could do this and do that. If you are the one that's always trying to make sacrifices or adjustments or change anything to see him and he's not doing anything to see you, he probably does not like you. Because when a guy really likes you, he's going to do what's necessary to see you. But if he sees you as just somebody to mess with or somebody just to talk to for the time being, a placeholder, if you will, he's not going to try to see you. He's not going to care. And honestly, some women get the runaround and they never see that man. It's like, how old are we? Why are y'all just texting and calling and being on the phone all night? Like, when are you actually going to come and see me? So don't get the idea like, oh, well, he's shy or he's this or he's that. He doesn't like you like that. Another one, when you're talking about deep stuff or intimate stuff, or you're just not in a sense rambling, but how sometimes we just ramble about stuff that we care about. He interjects with things that have nothing to do with what you're talking about. And don't get me wrong, we are humans. Every so often, that may happen. But if you find out that happens quite often, like you're talking about a topic and then he starts talking about a completely different topic, he probably doesn't like you like that. Because similar to what I said before, it shows that he's tuning you out. He's not even listening to what you're saying. Like you're talking about politics, and he's like, oh, did you see the Heat game last night? And another thing too, sometimes as women, we think, oh, well, men just only like sports and men just only like this. And he doesn't care what I'm talking about my feelings, and he doesn't care what I'm talking about. No, I'm not saying that he should, act like he's one of your girlfriends and be like, oh, girl, she did that. Oh, girl, he did that. But at the same time, if it's a thing of him always changing the subject, if it's a thing of him not really wanting to talk about what you talk about, he probably doesn't like you. And the unfortunate thing, especially what happens, I feel like when you're younger, you kind of change yourself for men. I've noticed that happen to a lot of women. Like, you may like a specific topic, or you may like something, or you may find something interesting, but he never wants to talk about it. So of course you're not going to talk about the topic, because every time you try to, he doesn't want to talk about it. Don't allow that to happen. If he doesn't want to talk about the things that you like, the things that you enjoy, he's not the one for you. And honestly, he probably doesn't like you, because if you're telling me you like to talk about this stuff, but he doesn't, so you don't talk about what you like, are you even in a real relationship? Now you're just conforming yourself to be a doll for him. You're just trying to be anything that he wants. And obviously he doesn't want the real you. Another one, being mean. We are not 14 years old. There's no reason why a man should be being mean to you. If you feel like a man is being mean to you, then he probably does not like you. That could be a multitude of things. Even if you're in a relationship and you're like, well, he must like me, or in a relationship, he's probably cheating, or he's doing something that he feels bad about. Because that's usually a change in, I would say, a change in just the connection that happens. Because when someone feels guilty about something, I don't know if you ever heard when they say like guilt will literally eat you up. It will. When someone feels guilty about something, or someone feels bad about something, when they're interacting with the person that they feel like they did something to, it's very hard for them to just be normal. It's very hard for them just to play it off and act like nothing happened, unless you are messing with a serial cheater or just a pathological liar. But for the most part, another time, like I said, is men being mean. Like, if he's being mean to you, saying things to you that just aren't nice, I am not with the whole being mean to women, the whole, like, at the end of the day, I could take a joke. Don't get me wrong, I could take a joke, okay, but I don't know. I feel like my man should pick me up. I feel like if I'm talking to a man, dealing with a man, he should be the one that makes me feel like I'm a princess. I'm the most beautiful woman in the world. Like, I don't like the whole talking junk to me and being mean to me. And I don't know. I feel like that's definitely what up north men. I've noticed that as well. But regardless, if he's being mean to you, and especially if you said that you don't like him saying something, or he is just acting in a way that it's like, dang, am I your bro or am I your girl? He probably doesn't like you like that. On a certain level where it's like he's looking at you as being my girl. You get what I'm saying? On that intimate type level, even if y'all are intimate, it's just, I personally feel like if a guy is mean to you, he does not see himself taking it further with you, because he doesn't look at you on that level of like, this is my girl. I want to protect her. I want to be there for her. Like, she just a rag doll. That's me. That's just my opinion. That's what I feel. And the final one, he gets mad at you when you don't do things the way he wants it to be done. I have noticed, I just feel like this is a thing in life, even with friendships or any relationship that you have in your life. People love it when they can use you, in a sense of you just say anything they want you to say, you do anything they want you to do, you're a yes man. People love yes men, even though they hate to admit it. But it's, in my opinion, a real relationship is built when it's like, no, I'm not always going to say yes to you. No, I'm not always going to agree with you. And we still can be friends. We still can be boyfriend or girlfriend, but I'm me and you're you. When someone wants you to be a specific kind of way and they get mad at you when you're not the way that they exactly want you to be, in my opinion, he doesn't really like you like that. And I think sometimes that messes people up, because they're like, oh, what if my man loves me and my man this? A lot of times men like how you look. A lot of times a guy may like how you dress. He may like aspects of you, but your true version of yourself, the real you, he does not like you. So that's another thing I tell people to do. Like, I'm not saying play mind games with somebody, but don't always do things that you say the way he wants it done. So let's say you feel like you always drive over his house. One day you could be like, can you pick me up? Like, why I always gotta drive over there? Like, you could pick me up one day. If he's getting mad at you and acting mean and all this other stuff, that means he probably doesn't like you. Because it's like, when things are going his way, yes, it's cool. But when things are not going his way, he can't deal. No, he don't like the real you. He likes you when you can go by everything that he say, but he don't like you when you're being your true self. So that's another thing I've tried to do before, like paid attention to, like not going along and not saying yes every single time, because people a lot of times will show you their true colors when you don't say yes. Like when you don't tell them yes, when you don't go along with it, that's when they start acting different. You be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I thought we were cool. I thought we were, and it's like, no, they really didn't like you for you. They just liked you because they thought you were a yes man. So thank y'all so much for watching my video. I know this one was a little bit different, but I thought it would be interesting because we all have been in relationships. We all have dealt with men before. And when you're in the relationship where you're dealing with that man, it's very hard to see the flags. Like it's very hard because a lot of these things that I mentioned before, I've dealt with, but in the time of dealing with them, I did not see them as being a red flag. I did not see them as being, he don't really like me like that. Like that was my man, my man, my man. And now that I left the relationship, it's like, whoa, he did this or he did that or he did, like it made sense. He was building it up, but I didn't even notice it. So thank y'all so much for watching the video, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and come back for new videos every Sunday, Wednesday, Friday, because y'all know I switched it. I no longer do Mondays. I switched it to Sundays. So have a great one.